What's going on, everybody? This is Keith from Outerhaven, and today I wanted to do a quick overview of the upcoming shoot 'em up. You get Darius fans are going to love this. Dariusburst, Chronicle Saviours, coming out for PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and also on the PC via Steam. So I'm going to give you some footage here for the game that I've been pretty much beta testing. So check it out so far. So as you can see, you have AC mode, which is for another Chronicle, CS mode, which is for Chronicle Saviours, a ranking option where you can see how you do against other people that are playing the game, and there's more options. So as you can see, this is pretty much what you got here as far as options are concerned. But let's go through the options and see what you have for the PC. So you have your controls where you're able to map your different buttons to the controller, and as you notice, there's a ship name on top of every different description of the controls. That's because you can map your buttons for each different ship. So if you have a preference to how you map your buttons or how you use your weapons on, say you like the Legend or you like the Second or you like, any other ship, you can basically customize your button layout. Pretty straightforward stuff here. At the same time, volume control, pretty much it, raise and lower the volume and sound effects. The sound test is actually pretty deceiving because you would think that you can go through all the soundtracks in the game, but that's not exactly true. All this does is let you sample the sound from what you hear while you're playing the game. That's it. You make sure that you can hear the music or you can hear the sound and vice versa. Also, it's a good thing to note here that you cannot turn the sound completely off. So I'm sorry, soundtrack lovers, you will have to hear at least a minimum of one level to listen to the sound effects. Can't disable it completely. Sorry about that. And as we go down, we'll see CS mode setting, which pretty much is you can change your burst gauge type, which is your burst system weapon. You can change that from CS, Chronicle Savior, or you can change that to AC for another Chronicle. If you guys have played that game in arcade or the PlayStation PSP, you'll know the difference. And of course, arm rate main pretty much shows how much you have left as far as your burst. And the cabinet settings is pretty straightforward. It's pretty much, think of the cabinet setting as a save, a global save, pretty much what it is. So if you pick, say, cabinet 1 when you play the game, pretty much all your level progression, everything you've done in AC mode is tracked in cabinet setting. Now, the cool thing about this is, say you played and 50,000 other people played. What happens is your level progression accumulates under that cabinet. It's basically an emulation of the arcade system. I believe it's called the NES. I may be incorrect. That allowed arcade owners that had this game to pretty much sync up other cabinets at the same time. So the progression was tracked. This allows you to open up more stages, access different bosses, and oh, by the way, Dariusburst Chronicle Saviours, the AC mode, has over 3,000 stages. So you might want to pick a cabinet and be consistent with this, guys, because this tracks a lot of your progression. Languages are pretty much the same thing. You go to languages and you pick your languages. Pretty straightforward. Nothing big here to see. And of course, once we get out of that, we just go back to the main deal. So now, as you can see, we're going to check out some other stuff. We'll just check the ranking out. So you can see, during the ranking, you can pretty much see where you rate or who rates on a particular mode or particular zone within the game. Keep in mind, this is only for AC mode, not for CS mode. Now, for those that are wondering what the difference between AC mode and CS mode is, well, AC mode is the emulation of the actual arcade. So if you ever played this in the arcade, this is what this is. Pure and simple, this is the arcade mode. CS mode is the new mode, or Chronicle Savior mode. And what this does is, it's a play off of the original Chronicle mode in AC, where you're playing pretty much the progression of the actual Darius story. Every time you beat a zone, you're treated to a little cutscene of your ship blasting off to the next zone, but you're given brief snippets of the story about what's happening. So as you can see, even right here, as you start the game, you see that it says multiple enemies are heading towards you. Yeah, it's pretty much it. It's a story-driven portion of the game. So you can play this if you want to get more information regarding Darius. For Darius lovers who've played these games over and over and over, it's nice to have a little bit of history, even though they might already know it. At the same time, for the newcomers in the game, this gives you some overview as to what's happening within the Darius series. It's also worth noting that the difference between AC mode and CS mode is that CS mode has a full screen. So when you play AC mode, again, it's the emulation of the actual arcade. So you're treated to a widescreen format of the game, which suits up to 4 players at the same time playing. With with Chronicle Savior mode, you're only able to play with one person. You get full screen, and it's more of a 16:9 ratio, where the actual AC mode is a 32:9 ratio, which is obviously to try to emulate the actual arcade, which was a dual screen cabinet game. Now that you're playing at home, some of us may not be able to emulate that, but you're stuck with that. So yeah, it's a good thing that it's trying to emulate the actual game as far as bringing experience home, but at the same time, it's kind of a bad thing because you might be stuck with a 1080p monitor or 14p monitor, and you only got one monitor, so you still can't emulate that full screen. So the game is going to be a little pinched. It doesn't detract from the gameplay. It's still a shit ton of fun, but overall, I wish you had the ability to change up the ratio for the AC mode. CS mode, however, is fully customizable. In fact, when you start the game, you're asked how do you want to play the game. You can either play in 16:9 or 32:9, and it will affect how the game is played. Now, for my gameplay, for me testing out this game, I'm actually playing this on a wide format monitor, 34-inch widescreen monitor. And even when I played the actual AC mode, it's still pinched in. It works great, like I said before, but yeah, and you can't really do much about that, guys. It's the actual arcade. This is the actual emulation of the arcade. It's likely the arcade code. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is, based on the cabinet that they used, was pretty much a Windows PC as it is. Pretty much, guys, like I said, CS mode is single player, story driven, 200 stages. I think a little bit more than 200 stages. AC mode, over 3,000 stages. You can play multi-screen with this. You also can play up to 4 players local co-op. There is no online co-op for this, guys. It's all local players. So if you have nobody to play with, you're pretty much screwed in that aspect. And at the same time, that's kind of a downer, because the really cool thing about AC mode is not only does it give you original arcade mode, original EX mode, which for those who play shoot 'em ups and are really good at it, those guys that can beat the game with 1 credit, and Chronicle mode. And Chronicle mode is pretty much it's not story driven like CS mode, but pretty much what it does is it lets you play the game, unlock different stages and bosses by completing objectives and missions within the game. Some of the objectives might be you have to beat this level on 1 credit, you have to beat this game with a fixed amount of power-ups, you have to beat this level, by flying backwards. Well, that was an exaggeration. It's not one of the actual ones. At least I don't think so, because I haven't seen all of them yet. And from there, like I said, you unlock different things. Now, this is where the cabinet mode comes in, because with the cabinets, you basically track your progression. So that's how it keeps track of you and everybody else who's playing the game at the same time. And as you play, you'll happen to notice that these modes open up, these areas open up, and you see more and more. The goal of the game is to liberate every system. You are a Darius fighter. You will liberate systems and do the good deed. That's pretty much it for AC mode. And in fact, guys, playing this game for quite some time, I was happy and lucky enough to get into the beta to help test this game out, and I haven't really found a lot of flaws, little buggy things here and there that they're definitely addressing before the game goes to full retail. But overall, this is a pure shoot 'em up experience. Guys, if you've been waiting for Darius to come home to the PC or to the PlayStation 4 or even the PS Vita, because honestly, the only time you could actually play Darius on any of these systems was on the PSP when it came out for when was it? The PSP version, Dariusburst, Another Chronicle, came out a while ago. Oh, it wasn't even Another Chronicle, it was just Dariusburst. I can't remember. And then there was also Dariusburst, Another Chronicle, which came out for the iOS. Didn't come out for Android, didn't come out for anything else other than that. And I refuse to play a shoot 'em up on a touchscreen device. Sorry, I don't go that way. But now this is finally out for the PC, PlayStation 4, and PS Vita. I'm glad that they made this decision to bring this over. It is a phenomenal game. It sucked that the experience stayed in the arcade and that nobody can actually experience it at home. But thank God somebody wised up, finally brought this game over here. And guys, trust me, if you're fans of the shoot 'em up, you're gonna love this game, hands down. It looks beautiful, it plays beautiful, 60 frames per second. On every game, every system that I tested it on, I had no issues. I even played it on a laptop that was stuck at 720p. Was flawless, guys. That's pretty much all I can say about this game. Shoot 'em up fans, you're going to love this. Unfortunately, at the time of this review, the time of me checking this game out, there was no set price. They're still debating on how much it's going to cost, but it will be coming out on PC via Steam on December 3rd. I heard that the PlayStation 4 and the PS Vita version might be delayed. I'm not 100% sure because they're still trying to get this pushed through Sony. So, if anything, guys, the console version may be delayed by a couple days. Unofficially, I'm not 100% sure, but the PC version will definitely be coming out on December 3rd. So, Darius fans, shoot 'em up fans, guys who love classic games, check out Dariusburst Chronicle Saviours when it comes out from the PC December 3rd, 2015. This is Keith from Outerhaven, And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Let us know how we're doing, and be sure to pick this game out when it comes out. Peace.